Okay, class, I'm here to help with the rectangle problem and try to get you to see what we're doing wrong in here. So let's run the program and let's see it done correctly. So when we run this program, I've actually created four rectangles. The first one is 0, 0, and 0 width and 0 height, and you don't see it because it doesn't exist. And then we have three other ones. So we got four of them all together. And notice it's all done on one piece of paper, okay? So if I see the tester right now, that's what I've done. I've created rectangle A, and notice we're not passing anything in. This is the one that's super, super small. Perimeter 0, area 0. And rectangle B, C, and D, now we're passing in a location and a width and a height. Okay, and what do? We draw and we actually calculate, use those other methods like get perimeter and get area, and we display them down here at the bottom. Here's the first one, here's B, C, and D, and here's some other fancy ones with some get methods as well. So if I go back to the rectangle class, most of you are probably going to have these two lines in the wrong place. Right now they're in the right place, and especially this one. This is the most important one. This one is actually creating a new piece of paper. And notice it's not in a method. It's near the instance variables at the very top of the class. If I scroll down a little bit, you're probably going to have your piece of paper constructed in the rectangle where we don't pass anything in, and the rectangle with the four parameters right here. So what that means is every time you create a new rectangle, you're going right to the constructor and you're like, hey, give me another piece of paper. So we don't want the piece of paper to be in the constructor because then we would have four different pieces of paper. So that's why the piece of paper is out here. What is this line? Well, this is the pen. Notice it's just being declared here, and it's coming from the drawing tool class. That's a part of the JP Draw. And notice I am actually creating four different pens. How do I know I'm creating four different pens? Pens is because when we're in this constructor and this constructor right here, I'll move this down, you can see I'm creating a new pen because it has the word new in there every time I create a new rectangle, either a blank rectangle or a rectangle that has a location and a height and width. I could take this pen command and move it outside and not only declare it, but I can initialize it out here too. That would mean I would just have one piece of paper, one pen, and do everything else exactly the same. But in this case, the way it's designed, I have what? I have created a one piece of paper outside, and I've declared the pen so I can create a new pen. There's no advantages of right now of creating four different pens at this stage, but hopefully that has helped. One last thing, very important word. And so in the instructions, it talks about this word really for both of these commands in here, but you only really need it for Sketchpad in this case, is this word static. Static refers to this is going to be shared amongst all objects. So if we create an object in the tester class, a new one, a rectangle one that's blank or not blank, every time we create a rectangle, a new object in the tester class, it's gonna share this one piece of paper. If you don't have that word static in it, it's gonna actually create a new piece of paper every time I go over here and say, hey, I want a new pen from paper. And then I was going to come back up here and give you a new piece of paper. But the moment I make it static in here, static refers to it is being shared amongst all objects. All objects will have the same exact piece of paper. Notice these are not shared. You know why? It's because when we pass in these four values right here, we want them to be different for every single object. So I hope that helps. And we are going to stop this and talk to you soon.